the Yonkooks.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
The
Yonkooks are the top four chefs of the Marines, I believe. And they cook for important people like Kizaru, Saturn, and I'm assuming all the admirals and all the Gorosei. They're pretty solid, man. I don't know. We have like the chef of spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Not confirmed, but I think winter is the only one confirmed right now. But it's like, yo, the rest, the rest could pop up at any minute, and we'd be none the wiser.
Yeah, that's actually that's a crazy one to start on because that is one of the ones that might have spawned a theory actually. Someone in my chat, he's in I think in a lot of chats on YouTube. He's Brandon King, and he came in when I was reading the SBS on stream, and he was saying that like um that the young cook that Oda mentions that was serving Saturn Kizaru was named Kamakov, and that has an like a Russian kind of, you know, aesthetically thematic name. But then interestingly, there's Ivankov. Ivankov was a celestial slave, and so his idea that he pitched on stream was that Ivankov's father might have been a young cook in a previous thing, and then that would have been like a name thing, goofy thing with the name stuff. But then I added in, it's like, wait, Ivankov is a chef. Like his
Yup.
entire island is full of
They're all
chefs,
chefs, dude.
and so it might be that like yeah, and to the point that Ivankov was better than Sanji. Like he taught Sanji the 99 recipe thing, and that was something that he gathered from all of the chefs. And then, you know, obviously Ivankov was the final raid boss that Sanji learned from in the time skip. And so it's very likely that Ivankov has some kind of relationship with that, which would also make sense as to why Ivankov was the arbiter of information during the God Valley flashback. Ivankov had so much information, it almost made you wonder, like, wait, if there are no survivors for all these cleansing events, how do you know about like all of this more than most other people? At least Ginny seemed to know a lot, but Ginny was a wiretapping, eavesdropping, like kind of like thief-ish kind of character. Whereas Ivankov, if they were related to a young cook who was like Kamakov serving the Gorosei and admirals or wherever at high level missions like going to Egghead, then Ivankov could also be privy to that information had Ivankov had some either. I doubt Ivankov was a young cook because they were a kid, but like their father, mother, whatever, being a young cook could have been the case, and so the young cook title it would be very crazy because then, you know, like Zoro got taught by a warlord, world's strongest swordsman, and Sanji would have been taught by like the lineage line of the world's strongest cook. You know, it'd be kind of crazy if that was the case. And I really like that idea, and I think that's like um you know, one of those SBSs that kind of like you don't really think much of it because it seems like a meme because it's like Yang Cook pun, you know, like goofy
Yeah.
thing. But then it's something that very easily could be pushed into the canon story once we get more of the revs, once we get more of Ivankov's story, because we realistically don't have much of Ivankov's
We have
story or
nothing of Ivankov's story, really. We have God
yeah.
Valley, and that's pretty much it.
And Ivankov is like one of the most interesting characters that Oda introduced pre-time skip and has maintained relevance and continues to gain more reasons to be relevant through got now like as far as bingo cards go, right? When we got Kuma's the first drop of Kuma's flashback from Bonnie when she touched the thing and I saw the architecture, I was like, that's when I on stream I was like, Kuma's flashback might give us God Valley. And at the time, though, like the formula was incorrect because I was like, the architecture that we saw there seems like, you know, it doesn't seem like this. And then the way the slaves work, I was sort of wrong, but it ended up being in the right place where, yeah, we got God Valley and Kuma's flashback. But I don't think anybody really had Ivankov being at God Valley in their bingo cards, like up until the reveal. It was the craziest thing when Oda just put his giant head on screen. I was like, wait, what? They were all there, huh? And so, getting God Valley resume, as tragic as the reason why they were there, that's kind of tells you the direction that Oda's gonna bring this character to, right? Like they're gonna continue to expand, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's just whew. So
It's
that
really
SPS is
funny.
crazy.
Like looking back at it in hindsight, it's like, man, we should have known that Ivankov was going to be there, considering Kuma and Ivankov have that relationship and the whole like never forget my face thing that happened at Marineford. The fact that they worked together as part of the revolutionaries. Like looking back at it now, it's so obvious, but at the time we were kind of just focused on like what's going to happen here, right? In this flashback, like we were looking at the architecture, we were looking at the slaves, and it's like, damn.
Well, like
I was blinded by the light.
Oda was kind of masking Ivankov's thing through Kuma, right? With like Kuma's thing, him being at God Valley, that wasn't really strongly hinted at for a long time. Where it's like I remember going on like 9 different streams and podcasts, like pitching this theory, and people were like, there's not a lot to go off of on this. But I was like, I was resolute. I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure. I just don't know the context. It's like, how does Kuma even fit there? And then Oda throws the games, and like that was the whole crazy thing. And but you're right in the sense of like what we should have realized is that not just Ivankov, but the revolutionaries in general, but Ivankov also, given how Oda portrayed them at Marineford, they probably had a longer standing history that, hey, if we think Kuma's here, might not be weird to tie Ivankov to it. And to that point, like, yeah, Ivankov is kind of like day one for Kuma, but like after Kuma lost his dad, the next like notable character introduced for him was Ivankov. And then Ivankov obviously left at Sorbet Kingdom, but he came back pretty much the next time it was relevant for Kuma's story, right? Because he had Jinny, and then the old people, King Bakori, that kind of thing. But then once he was like 18 or something, or 25 or something.
King
like
Bakori.
That. Yeah, King Bakori.
He's such a good guy.
Famously great guy. Famously.
He's just like one of the highlights of Kuma's backstory. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I went back and reread it, and I saw the panel where Kuma was running, and I was kind of expecting King Bakori there. Because he was such an impact on Kuma.
Yeah, Kuma is famously always running to King Bakori to give him a big bear hug.
Yeah. King Bakori's at the end of the hill, just arms wide open, ready to let Kuma in. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he also had no way to stop Kuma from giving him that big bear hug that King Bakori couldn't get enough of. Realistically, he kept coming back for that hug.
He kept on coming back for more.
It didn't matter how hard Kuma hugged him.
Is he still alive? He's still alive, right?
I
mean, we don't know for sure. Last we saw was that Kuma set his ship on fire, but I think there is a chance that he's alive though. Like we didn't see a body. We didn't see a body.
Like King Bakori is one of the craziest characters because he got like unlimited resources from the world government. Like the Gorosei was out here backing him up. Now they didn't give him a warlord, they didn't give him like a strong character to, hey, you got clapped by the son of Clap, and that happened again and again, and let's just see what happens. The third time's a charm, right? King Bakori, and King Bakori is like, you betcha, you bet your solid ass I'm gonna go back there to stomp Kuma down. Land, sea, or air, you better count on Bakori.
He's kind of like the Spandam of kings, huh?
Yeah,
like the government loves him, and he has no real power. He's just kind of like a guy.
Well, at least Spandam had a competent father, right? His father was the leader who executed the Ohara order. So as far as that goes, 2 admirals were under like essentially sort of underneath Spandam's father's directions a little bit, because he was there, the commanding person. He was holding the Gorosei's orders in his hand. And so at least Spannum had that. King Bakori just had L's on L's. Like even the whole holocausting his own island wasn't his idea. That was something he read in the newspaper from Goa Kingdom. And he like, so there's nothing really that he
like read the
created.
recipe online,
Yeah, that's essentially what he did. He
like
said,
cooking.com.
yeah, like exactly. He's just like, you know what? They cook their poor people. I'm gonna cook my old people. It's a little bit different. It's a remix, but you know, maybe we get the
It's a
same recipe.
remix.
Yeah,
If you owned
yeah.
a country, would you kill all your old people?
No. Why would I kill the old people?
What about the sickly?
No. Wait. I mean, the sickly is. Why would you need to kill them? They're sick.
That's a really good point.
Like,
Yeah, I don't think I would do what King Bakori did. I'm just trying to see if there was some like logic behind it. Like if you could put some, you know, some reasoning behind his actions.
I mean, he had reasonings. I don't blame him for the global structure. He wanted to avoid taxes. So like that's why
Yeah.
he did it. He did it because he wanted to skew the census of and not have to pay a high heavenly tribute, which is like as far as taxation without representation, you know what America's built on. That's why he did the Holocaust in his island, is because he was like, damn, like I get taxed on old people and sick people and children, kill them. If I classify them as animals, then they can't tax me on them. So it's like he was kind of encouraged to do so. And now that we met the Gorosei, they were like, oh my god, he's classifying people as insects just like we do. He's one of us. Saint Saturn probably, he was the one on the other call. He's like, oh, King Bakori, let's give him all of our resources. You
Imagine
know?
we have like a little backstory where the Gorosei are all together, and Saturn's like, "Oh, that King Bakori fellow, I see potential in him."
Yeah, yeah. He
Oh,
really
that would be
took
great.
he took our classes to heart there. That's a good fellow right
Yeah.
there. Oh
He's
no.
following our example.
Oh, imagine in the
What's up?
last chapter they summon King Makori to run it back with Kuma. Like it's like some
Oh, that'd be
buffed up.
so good. Dude, what if the person that, going back like 5 chapters, if we were to rewind it and we don't know the giants showed up yet, what if the person off the coast of Egghead Island is King Bakori? He's just coming back to finish the job. Here, Kuma's here.
Yeah, he came here specifically because he was following Kuma in the sky. He's just like,
Yeah.
I've been looking for you, Kuma. It's time to take back my kingdom. And then he's like some kind of bounty hunter. Oh no,
That'd
King
be so
Bakori-
good.
Dude. Oh man, are we? I think we're Yonkook level. I think we're Yonkook level. How we're cooking this side story right now.
Yeah.
Oda would be proud.
Oh, the Yonkooks. I love the Yonkooks. Do you think Sanji will ever meet them? I don't think he will because it's not important for his story. Like, if there was filler still in One Piece, I feel like we would get the Yonkooks, but since anime filler is kind of being nixed out more or less, I don't think we're going to get the Yonkooks meeting Sanji. Which is sad because like we don't even get like what Sanji using the 99 recipes. He's never really like cooked up. Oh, recipe number 12. Here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Oda used it in Punk Hazard. It was useful, and then technically he used it in Luffy and Whole Cake Island. But like it's kind of like this thing where it's like now we're just supposed to understand that all of his cooking is just enhanced because of it. It's not necessarily like you're saying like recipe number 48 and like some kind of crazy thing that Oda goes
To be
through.
fair, I would hate that.
Yeah, it would be kind of because it's not this. That's not the same value as
Just cooking a nice meal.
3 billion world cataclysm / onigiri purgatory. You know, it's like that's not the same like vibe if Sanji was out here doing that. But as far as like meeting the Yonkooks, I could see it. I could
Really?
actually see Sanji doing that.
Oh, like final opponents.
It's not really even final opponents, but like it would be kind of like any Zabi running back because you know, on the way to meeting Jabra and the CP9, he had to fight Wanze, who was the Cypher Pole cook, and you know, like there was like certain techniques that Wanze did, and like he was this like his main thing was just martial arts with ramen, and it was a meme goofy thing. But like, if Oda is introducing the concept of yang cooks, I could easily see them like listen, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the yang cooks is a holy knight. You know what I mean? Like, it could easily be the case that one of the families is a yang cook. Like, that would be an interesting thing too, with if like not all the yang cooks were, we don't even know if the Young Cooks are slaves, right? Like the Ivankov thing that I mentioned, that's a theory. We don't know Kamakov's like exact standing per se, but it would be
Yeah.
really interesting because one of the things that we do know is that one of the main facilities on Meridra is their food reserves, and they have like godly food. That's what the Revs targeted. That's one of the three things they targeted: a statue, they targeted slaves, and they targeted food. And so if they have young cooks now, I would imagine that, hey, it's like a typical story where it's like there's a like a peasant one who made it there. There was like a slave that might have, but like not like, they had preferential treatment, but they were still a slave. Then there's like a noble one, and then there's like a really strong one. And like maybe one of the Holy Knights is a Yon cook. I wouldn't be
Nah, dude.
surprised about that.
I feel like I agree with you. I feel like there is going to be like this crazy cook as a part of the Holy Knights, but
Yeah.
I would want it to be like a step above the Yon cooks. Like you know how there's a king of pirates. We should have like the king of the cooks or the god of cooks, since they're Holy Knights. I think that'd be sick. I just hope. Oh, what if it's just Wanze?
Wanze's father coming through.
Yeah.
Godze, like
Godze.
no, like that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe the Gorosei step in, but like, you know me. One of our first conversations was me like validating the Gorosei's like potential in the story, and I'm not gonna say I'm eating my words right now. Obviously,
You're not eating your
like,
words. They have a really great showing.
yeah, but like as far as making them like we know like godhead of agriculture and stuff like that. There's not like
Yeah.
godhead of food, but like imagine Jupiter, the one that we think is like, not we think, but the community believes is Sanji's father, right? Or like, ancestor, right? That Jupiter's the one shepherd. Yeah, he's the one that.
Yeah.
Imagine he's a cook, right? Like, that'd be kind of wild. And it would kind of make sense also sort of from like a Japanese perspective too, because in this is like a cultural thing when you say like itadakimasu, like that's we like in media we see it as like it's thankful for the food, but apparently in terms of cultural practice, everybody who handles food all the way to the farmers who take the food and harvest it, they say itadakimasu. So like as far as like a cook to a farmer, it all starts with the farmer in that like thing, which being grateful for everything, the great harvest, the weather, everything that allowed you to get that food. So it could make sense that he is like goes to Sanji, you don't know the meaning of ingredients, and like he's like the master of all the ingredients.
No, yeah, I agree. I think Jupe Peter's also a chef, because if you look at him, he has like that scar running across his chest too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like he has this crazy scar just going across his chest, like that reaches his neck. And I feel like that could be cooking related.
Oh. Why what part of cooking relatedness? Because people don't know this, but you are a Yan cook. You're in the running to be a Yan cook. If you were in the One Piece world, you cook every day. You have just enough experience as Sanji. You could probably replace Sanji on the Straw Hats.
No, I cannot cook.
I wish.
I wish I could cook. I wish I could cook.
You were out here telling me you like procure the finest ingredients, and you take like at the crack of dawn, you wake up every morning and prepare, like you season stuff, marinate it every day for
I'm just a regular cook, Par, but I work with a lot of great cooks in the industry though.
Exactly, that's what Sanji's
hey I just work at the restaurant. I don't cook at the restaurant,
that's Sanji was technically that for most of his life. Nobody thought he was a great chef, and he wasn't allowed to, and he was just the waiter person, and what Patty and the other guy were like, "What are you gonna cook, Sanji, you loser?" And then he proved them wrong because he was like in a training arc his whole life, right? So all I'm seeing more and more of Sanji here. If your eyebrows started curling, oh my god, I would think you're straight from the German
I would shave
kingdom.
my eyebrows off.
I mean, hey, listen.
If your eyebrows started curling, you'd shave them off too. Nobody would keep them.
Now it's starting to make way more sense because a lot of your takes would line up with Judge and his appreciation of a character like a Kainu.
That I will accept. I like Judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Judge is a good character.
Practices and it's like it's in your lineage factor almost. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, people don't like Judge or Jerma, but I'm like, yo, they're actually so cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, I actually like. I think I like Judge more than most of Big Mom's crew. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you?
I think the only people that beat him are like probably just Cracker and Katakuri, but even then, I think Judge is a hard contender.
In the Vince Smokes family, are you like Ichiji or Niji, or are you Judge?
I'll probably be Judge.
You'd probably be Judge. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But would you wear that mask? Why does he wear that mask?
Oh, the helmet?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think just to keep his like hair in. I think just to make him look like a distinguished leader, actually.
Interesting. Yeah. I just thought that was a little interesting.
I think this is gonna sound silly. This is like a tangent, but I think by the end of the story, we're gonna get a combination attack between Judge and the rest of Mads, or like Neo Mads.
A combination attack.
Yeah. It'd be so cool. Like a. I was about to say father and son Kamehameha, but no. I think it'd be like Asta Yuno from Black Clover.
Don't sully Gohan's like most amazing moment with Judge and whatever the hell that was.
No. What about Goku and Frieza coming together? And it's just Judge and Sanji or something, or Judge and Caesar.
Judge doesn't even reach. Like, I would imagine if Frieza had kids, he would probably be a better parent than Judge a little bit. I don't know.
I think Frieza would be a better dad.
It was just a while. Like, I'm not even thinking about it like deeply, but I feel like Frieza was like the child least loved by his family, right? And so,
no, dude, King Cold kind of loved Frieza, man.
Wait, I thought Cooler was loved.
I think they're both loved because, well, Cooler, we never see Cooler interact with King Cold, but for Frieza, literally Frieza died. He came back and he was like, "Dad, let's attack Earth," and then King Cold is like, "Yes, no one disrespects my son." Like, as far as Cooler goes, we never see him interact with King Cold. So that's yeah.
I thought that Frieza had like a Zuko arc where it was like he was trying to prove himself, and that's why he did all the conquering to make a name for himself, but his family never really accepted him, so he kept on going or whatever, and he never like met their thing. And I thought Cooler,
I don't remember that.
I thought in the movie that was the thing. That's like Cooler.
What movie?
Was Cooler presented? Isn't there a movie where Cooler was presented? Cooler? Remember? I forget what movie.
Yeah, I watch all the Cooler movies. I have it on VHS and DVD. I love it.
And I thought the story behind it was Cooler presented to be stronger than Frieza when we fought. Yeah. And so I thought it was like Cooler was like kept within the family because he was like the Azula of the thing, and Zuko was like Frieza.
Oh no, they never really get into family politics now.
Huh? Dang.
Cooler just wanted revenge for Frieza, and that was it.
Interesting. Yeah. Frieza was an interesting character. Wait, in Super, do we get more of Frieza's race in other universes?
Yes, we get Chilled. Or not Chilled. Sorry. Chilled is Frieza's ancestor. We get Frost.
Frost. Oh, that was close. Damn.
Yeah, we get Frost.
Interesting.
But even then, Frost is kind of a loser. But Frieza's way better.
Yeah.
Actually, thinking about Frost's backstory, Frost was actually a good guy in his universe. Or quote good guy. He was a guy who created a problem and then sold the solution. So like okay, imagine this, right? So I'm gonna explain Frost's whole person right here. So imagine me and you are best friends, okay?
Uh-huh.
I guess we are good friends. So
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I
imagining.
call you up. I'm like, hey, Par, I need you to break into Walmart tomorrow and blow up the food aisle. So you go to
Okay.
Walmart tomorrow, you blow up the food aisle, and then
Uh-huh.
I go to Walmart the very next day, and I'm like, oh no, this is so bad. Someone blew up your food aisle. Here, I'm gonna bring in all my guys here to donate some food to you guys, and then my reputation gets boosted because of
Uh-huh.
that. And
Yeah.
then we find a lookalike who looks just like you. We get like Caribou in real life. We capture him, handcuff him. We bring him to Walmart and like, look, we got the dirty bastard that blew up your food aisle. And then Walmart is like, oh, Sai, you're such a great guy. Here's everything we have because we love you.
Uh-huh.
And then I walk away. I'm you know, rubbing my hands. I'm laughing. And then I hop in the car and you're in there too. And I'm like, time to split the money. And then we look at like the next place to do this at. That's Frost.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's Frost.
Interesting. And you know what's funny when you were describing that? I was like, wait, like that kind of sound like the Revolutionary Army, where it's like they blew up the food reserve, and then Imagine Dragon goes like, because Ivankov has like the 99 chefs, and so he's like, I'm sending one of my chefs to every cut. Well, they didn't blow up like the world's
That would be
food
smart.
reserves. Yeah, I was just thinking like, wait, they could have easily done the same thing and just like prop themselves up as like the world's food reserve. That'd been sick, actually.
That would be good, yeah. Like send all of Ivankov chefs to Marie Joie and then rake in the dough because they have nowhere
Yeah.
else to go.
Yeah. Masquerade. Oh yeah. Wait, is Kamabaka Queendom? No, they're not. It'd be like because one of their kingdoms, any one of their kingdoms, that they could has an in with the world government. They could have used one of those kingdoms as like a shell company, saying like we have
Yeah.
99 chefs and we're willing to give them, kind of like how Drum Kingdom had the 100 doctors,
The
you know?
20 MDs.
Yeah. And so it could it like I would imagine, hey, if the Meridraw had like an epidemic, a pandemic type of thing, the doctors would be called in. Similarly, they have a food shortage. Hey, we are a nation of chefs. Send us in, and that would be the perfect way to send revolutionary operatives into
think-
Meridraw.
I actually think me and you should never be in the One Piece world because we'd be too not cracked. I guess that's not the right way to put it, but I think we would try to exploit a lot of systems.
Yeah, I mean they're so exploit. People are too goofy. Let's be honest.
Yeah, especially in One Piece, right? One Piece isn't exactly the real world. People will just fall for it. None the
Yeah,
wiser. Just
like-
it's so sad.
Like you know what? This is a hot take. This is a really hot
No.
take.
Say it.
Doflamingo is one of the touted as like anime's greatest antagonists. Like
No way.
he's in the list as far as whatever series people. If you haven't
Compared
watched
to
certain series,
Johann Liebert.
okay, see, I'm saying a lot of people haven't seen Monster, but like as far as like if you're someone who hasn't watched a lot, Doflamingo definitely makes the list, and it would take a lot of fiction to push him out of like a top 10 like crazy antagonist. But what I'm saying is a lot of what makes Doflamingo a great antagonist and villain is the comparison to the rest of the world, right? He's great, but that's also because a lot of the world is just kind of goofy. Like Big Mom could have easily done what Doflamingo did. So could have Kaido was literally there. Kaido was just a drunk mess on his island, but he was the real weight behind a lot of Doflamingo's like larger scale plans. And when it comes to a lot of the villains, like Wapol got booted off his island twice and then became one of the world's richest people. Imagine if he just had a few more brain cells to be actually evil. Then he would become Doflamingo. And it's like, like, so it would, as far as us saying like we'd be diabolical in the One Piece world, it's kind of not that hard if we're being honest. The hardest part is just like, I don't know, surviving like beyond one island. But I feel like it's one of those things, if you're able to survive like 2 islands, 3 islands on the Grand Line, you can probably make it. It's like, look at Buggy, dude. Like a little bit, a drop.
I think we just need like a really good devil fruit, to be honest.
Yeah. Like,
would you be a devil fruit guy or a hockey man?
I feel like I would be the type that if I lived a long enough life without a devil fruit, I feel like I'd only have eaten a devil fruit in my childhood. But like if I
Okay.
made it past like 12 or 14 or something like that, and like, you know, no devil fruit, I would probably just be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't like, I lived a long enough life without it. I don't think I
Yeah.
need it. You know what I mean? I'd probably just like hoard them and then, you know, do
Sell
my
them.
other diabolical plan, which is what I like some genius in my shorts comment said, like, because I was saying the way to kill Kaido and Big Mom is feed them another devil fruit. They were like, yo, just make a smoothie with 2 devil fruits and you insta kill everybody. If you had Zoro drink like a smoothie with 2 devil fruits, then that would mean that he instantly ate two and then he would just blow up allegedly. You know what I mean? I'd be the type to
Yeah.
test that shit out easily. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
Caesar's out here making like these concoctions, but does he know how that works? I don't know. Like, imagine being a
Vegapunk
scientist in
should
One Piece.
know, but he hasn't even talked about that either. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
damn,
Like,
dude.
do you think the Seraphim can eat a devil fruit with like green blood running through them?
I think they should be able to.
Yeah, it's
That's a
interesting. I was
hard one,
thinking about
right?
that.
Like the Seraphim, they're artificially made. They're artificial humans. Like I don't know how that works. And then even the devil fruit portion, it comes from a real devil fruit, but it's also like in their blood. Like yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also not like, and the reason it's like green blood seemed to have like a level of like they needed to replenish the green blood, it seemed like with the S
Yeah.
shark. Whereas like it's not like Luffy bleeds and then he loses his like his the power that he has, right? Otherwise, the crocodile fight would have been over. He literally won because how much he was bleeding. So if he was bleeding out his devil fruit, then you know that so like the mechanism
Yeah.
of how it works doesn't really apply, you know.
Like
So
for the Seraphim, you could technically like cut their throat and drain them upside down, and then after about an hour or two, they won't have any devil fruit powers anymore.
they would also probably be dead because that's kind of how we like to slaughter
But they're
animals.
artificially like they're artificial humans. Though. They could live through that.
Yeah, yeah. Famously, artificial creations can survive being drained like a goat sacrificed to some tribal god.
Like it's like Thanksgiving dinner, you know. You just have a bunch of
It's,
turkeys in the yard and you just kind of like drain them out.
yeah, and then you look at the artificial turkey. It's like, yeah, that one's gonna live through this one. Like, wait, what?
Well, sorry, I had an idea.
I don't know why I was imagining like a story. You know, like there's the stories where it's like they had the sacrifice and then like in a like a summoning circle type of thing, but it's like etched into the ground so the blood
Yeah.
feels the thing. And I was just imagining like a plot twist where like they find out that the person's like an artificial human being because they're not dying from the blood loss. And they're like, oh no, he's one of the like we made him. Ah, and I was just like, that'd
Yeah.
be so funny. Like, oh my god, that'd be as dumb as Saturn. Like Saturn tossing out Bonnie. He's just like, oh, I guess she retained the devil fruit power that I gave her, and whatever. Go out to the sea, you know, it's fine.
Sapphire
Wow,
scales.
18 years later or 15 years later, look at you. You have the most cracked devil fruit power in the entire
Yeah,
verse.
dude, Saturn doesn't make too much sense when you really think about it. Like Saturn is another reason why we look at Doflamingo and we're like, wow, that's a competent villain. Because for
That's what I'm
Saturn,
saying.
it's like, Saturn could have just killed Bonnie. He could have killed Ginny. He could have even just come up with the Sapphire Scale cure since he is
Yeah.
a scientist. But we're under the
And
assumption
hired
that he just
Vegapunk.
doesn't care.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and then he gets memed on by Vegapunk every other Tuesday. It's like, damn, dude. Like, speaking of competent villains, he's not exactly a Johan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that now we can now that you're watching monsters, like because
Yeah.
I don't know a single person I can make a monsters reference to besides like my best friend that because such
I
a
feel
niche
like
thing.
okay, now that I'm watching Monster, which is a great anime by the way,
Yeah.
you remind me of Detective Lung.
Okay, I'm forgetting some of these characters, but
Detective Lung is the detective who's hunting Tenma for like the first 40 episodes, and he has
yeah,
the
yeah,
he
yeah.
does the thing where he like taps his fingers to remember things. He's like he's like the monster theorist. He's like, huh? New information, and he starts like tapping his fingers. It's a great show. It's a great show.
Okay, so oh, you're 40 episodes in?
Yeah, I'm making it pretty far. I'm binging it, dude.
Damn, last week you were at episode 9 and then you have 40 hours.
In 1 week, I've watched 30 episodes. It happens, dude. It happens.
Yeah, so that means you went through one of the slow parts and you survived, and so it probably didn't even feel that bad, which makes sense because those slow parts feel less and less slow as you get older. But I imagine a lot of kids would watch that and be like, "Oh, this is too boring."
Yeah, Monster isn't exactly gonna pop up in Crunchyroll's 2024 Anime of the Year awards.
Yeah, which
That's
is
for sure.
but believe it or not, that is why I watched Monsters. I forgot. I remember I said it last time, but let me just double check. Monsters, anime of the decade. I forget which decade it won it for. But I thought it was for the 2000s. It won the thing, and so that's why when it got that award, I was like, wait, what? What is Monsters? I've never heard anyone talk about this, and I was mind blown afterwards that no one was talking about it. I was like, how did this fall through the cracks? Like people out here talking at the time, like
It's kind of a
Death
niche.
Note and Code Geass, and like those being the psychological pinnacles of the thing. I'm like, bro, they were built off the giants of Monsters. Monsters is literally like it's still like psycho. You probably like Psychopaths. Also, you can feel like how related the thematics are of like the value of life and weighing the thing, and like you can see how pre-technology era, because that's essentially what Monsters was doing that, and it's like crazy how in depth that story was. Oh my god.
I
Oh
think
god. But
Johan's a
yeah,
little bit of a loser
Johan, if you
though.
guys don't know who Johan is,
He has the
he
iconic
makes
image.
Doflamingo seem like a child's play.
Yeah. The thing with Johan is that even if you haven't watched Monster, you've probably seen his iconic meme image, which I busted up laughing when I saw it in the anime because I thought it was Photoshopped my entire life. It's the image where Johan is like looking at you and he has like a bottle of alcohol that is for some reason like super high quality in comparison to the anime, and then he says
Uh-huh.
want a drink, and then that meme was floated around like a
Oh,
couple years ago.
yeah,
Just type in Johan holding alcohol,
yeah,
and it's so
I see it.
funny. He looks at the guys like you want to take a drink, and then you'll see that meme in front of like a bunch of like dark humor like oh like after you something about like beating your kids, would you like to take a drink before you start driving home? Do you want to take a drink? It's like one of those memes.
Oh god, I'm seeing a
Yeah,
Pokemon
fits
meme
Johan
with it
though.
where it's enemy Johan used shoot me. And it's Tenma. Oh my god, bro.
What a great show! What a great show! If you
Yeah.
guys like slow burn old animes, that's like a cat and mouse detective chase that has a psychological twist. I guess they're all psychological twists, but Monsters is good.
Monsters.
Monster without the S. Sorry, I keep on saying monsters because it
Yeah,
sounds
the
right,
one
but
piece.
it's just monster because there's
Yeah.
only one out there, and that monster is Johan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy.
And that's not even a spoiler. He's very apparently scary.
Yeah, he's kind of like Dio, where like when you go into JoJo,
Uh-huh.
like that Dio's the main bad guy. Like when you go into Monster, Johan's the main bad guy.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, yeah, yeah. And like on a similar note, a very similar note, like Doflamingo had like not I'm not gonna say justified, but I'm gonna say you get a story from childhood to adulthood, and you kind of like you can kind of rationalize where he ended up based off of where he started, right? There's not too many celestial dragons ending up in a positive future timeline. And so
Yeah.
even where Doflamingo ended up being, it was like the world kind of pushed him there. They kind of like said, you either die or you become this. And so he became that because he didn't die. And that's where Johan's character is even more wild, because it's like what the heck? You know, it's like
It's the
holy,
most
holy.
unbelievable childhood story I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, yeah. It's honestly crazy. And that's what brings me back to like the One Piece thing we're saying, like, you know, hot take. Doflamingo's like, as far as antagonist goes, yeah, he's diabolical, he's cool. He came up in the story as one of those, you know, you know, the law backstory, all that stuff. Sure, I'm not denouncing that, but what I'm saying is that like then you get a character like Saturn, and you're just like, I mean, if this is the world's greatest, you know, oppressor, right?
Evil mastermind scientist, you know, like Doflamingo's looking pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whereas like you get other series and you're just like, what the heck, bro? This guy is all of the villains of an entire series combined and still worse. And it's like, wait,
I think
hello?
it's one of those things where it's like it's because One Piece is so long. Like we're meeting so many different villains that Oda can't, like, you know. I bet if Oda wanted to cook up one ultimate villain and that's it for the rest of the series, I feel like he could cook up a really good one. But because he has to like have, you know, Crocodile, Doflamingo, he has to save all the evil stuff for Emu 2. He has 5 Gorosei members all like individually fleshed out eventually. I don't know. It's rough. I will admit it's like when One Piece won the award at Crunchyroll for best ongoing series, and then you compare it to like Attack on Titan, which is long. But in comparison, it's like, okay, you know, like every anime on that list had less than 100 episodes. And then here's One Piece coming in with 1,100. It's like, okay, who wins best ongoing? You know what I mean? It's like the reverse situation of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like the best, like when, so like I was always like a Sherlock, reading any kind of fiction thing. The closest thing that you could get to as far as like villains that I like is like Moriarty, who has like, you could tell that Johan had a lot of like similar character traits and portrayal as like a Moriarty character, which is also similarly what like Doflamingo kind of had as well, where it's like there's like a puppet master type of character, you know, like Doflamingo, Moriarty, they're both Doflamingo's literally a puppet master. If you guys don't know who Moriarty is, he's Sherlock Holmes is like basically like he's like his arch nemesis. That's kind of like the Joker kind of to Batman, where it's like, at least
depending on which version of Sherlock Holmes you're watching.
Yes, but like also in most iterations, it wasn't that Batman let Joker live in Sherlock. Sherlock didn't let Moriarty live. It was more like, it was like the living part was like an outsmarting move on Moriarty's part. And so like, spoilers for Sherlock, one of the most famous chapters or books or whatever they're called, the things
detective series, I think,
is a fake out death that they do. So like, you know, again, spoilers for Sherlock, but yeah, the Reisenbach Falls thing, that's every iteration of Sherlock, they'll always do that thing. And so that's not a spoiler if you ever read Sherlock.
It reminds me of when we said, hey guys, be careful, we're gonna spoil the Bible.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're gonna get religious here for a second and talk about the Bible and its context, but
that was a,
you know, spoilers for a 3,000-year-old book or however long it was made. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget how that happened on stream, but that was a legendary. It was in the middle of a chapter. I think it was like an entire like 40-minute just.
Yeah, wait. Why did we bring up the Bible in One Piece again? What was happening at the time?
So it's post Wano.
Post Wano, okay.
Because that's when we started doing chapter reactions together, and it was kind of it was the discussion that like, so after Gear 5, a lot of people were like, is Luffy Jesus? But then it was also the discussion of like them making the thing of like One Piece is like the modern day Bible. And then so on stream we were in that conversation, and then I forget, I think one of us had said it's like, spoilers, like Jesus died. And then the chat just was like, oh my god, like,
how dare you spoil the Bible? I was still reading it.
yeah, like we were essentially
so good.
talking about Nika in reverse, like Luffy's like spoiling Jesus, not, oh my god.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted the context. I'm glad you have a good memory, because I would have never got that.
I was still, yeah, because now that I think about it, like I've seen some people being like spoiler Jesus thing, but at the time, like on Twitter or whatever, people are making the comparison. But like I never saw someone say that they were spoiling the Bible by saying Jesus got famously resurrected just like Luffy did in like reverse like that. That was a legendary moment too.
That
Oh
was a good
man, I gotta clip
moment.
that out. Yeah, definitely gotta clip that one out.
So back to the SBS. What are we on, number 2? Okay, we're not gonna go through all of these. I give up. I give up. Young Cooks was big.
Yeah.
What else is good here? Mihawk, he was betrayed by the Navy or something.
Ooh, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was
That
fun.
definitely was a solid one. The betrayal thing, I know a lot of people like latched onto that. It was an interesting thing, like because it said that he was betrayed, but um I forget, wasn't one of the was it Sandman? I forget who it was, but they give a little bit more nuance about like what it actually like the context was. Not that it like changed it wildly from betray. It was more like you got a more nuanced feeling about like I guess me, like it was like personally afflicting, like it was like a personal like painful part for him. So like whereas like
Yeah.
I don't know how
He has a
what the
chip on his
context was.
shoulder is a good way to put it. And
Yeah.
then he ended up hunting Marines because of that betrayal. I'm assuming, it could be two different things, but I'm assuming it is connected to why he hunted Marines for a good moment.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
have no idea. Do you think he used to be a Marine officer, or do you think Marines just did him dirty?
That's I've been thinking about that a lot because well it's actually that SPS was two birds one stone because there was a jumping point question from Meathawk and Crocodile's relationship that a lot of us asked about when Crocodile said like insinuated that they were similar in some way. You know, a lot of people took that like, wait, what does that mean? Why can they relate to something? And I always took that like, oh, like they both became warlords for like some kind of thing, whereas like
Yeah.
this SPS makes that true to a certain extent, but it also adds a nuance of like, well, if Mihawk was betrayed by the Navy and they have a similar circumstance, maybe Crocodile was also in a similar boat too. And that's an interesting thing because I don't like the viewers might not remember my headcanon about Crocodile, which I still believe despite how wild it could be. I think there's various levels to it, but I think that Crocodile in some way is like like a noble or a well like an aristocrat. Mainly the main person I'm tying into is the Dufeld family because the Dufeld has a conglomerate. Dufeld is one of the emperors of the underworld known as the loan shark, so like the god of financiers or the underworld emperor of like finance or something like that. And so he's
Yeah.
known as the loan shark, and that is as far as characters in One Piece goes, the only other like loan shark character is
Crocky.
Crocodile. And he was famously loaning Crossguild before it was Crossguild. It was when it was the what was it called, the Buggy's delivery service. That he was financing that, and so he came in to basically shake down Buggy as a loan shark. And so I think that and aesthetically, Crocodile and Dufeld are very similar. It literally looks like Crocodile is just a good timeline Dufeld, or that Dufeld is a bad timeline Crocodile. And so I have a small theory video on my channel about that. But point being is that Dufeld was the creator of Mads or financer of Mads originally, and that what happened was the world government and the Navy cracked down on them and stole his scientists, and Vegapunk then became hired by the richer, higher financing power of the world government. So hey, Dufeld could also have a chip on his shoulder about that thing. His literal scientific thing was all destroyed by the Marines and world government. So if that could be Crocodile's story, that his like childhood was uprooted because of that. But as far as Mihawk goes, we have both discussed this where I feel very strongly, and this isn't even a personal thing. I think most people have always thought this, even before the concept of Holy Knights existed, that Mihawk has some kind of relationship with
Yeah.
the Holy Knights. And the one thing that I could maybe think about, and this would be a weird thing for Mihawk, but we do get the dialogue from Garling of like hunting down at the cleansing event to being
Oh, the
like
rabbits.
rabbits. And
Yeah.
then Mihawk has a parallel line in his introduction where like, why would I hunt rabbits with a cannon, which kind of like, that's a very interesting wordage that Oda would use. Whereas he introduced Mihawk with that, and then 1,000 chapters later, we don't really get that dialogue ever again until Holy Night. That looks just like Shanks. It's like, Mihawk, Shanks's daddy or grandfather. Mihawk being like the most knightly spoken character, period. Like even in his introduction, Sandman and other Japanese speakers have always noted that he has the most eloquent Japanese speech, to the point that it's like knightly. It would be similar to what a holy knight would be. And so you could see it maybe that like Mihawk was a part of a cleansing event, maybe, and we know that Navy are there, they're present, they have a barricade around it so that there's no interference, which we saw at God Valley. There was Navy already present, but then Garp had to go there because they were anticipating rocks and whatever. And so it could be that maybe the Navy messed up like something, one of like Mihawk's points or something, and then so he was like memed on because of it. And so maybe that's the betrayal that he had. Like I was thinking about, but that would be weird because we don't get like the holy knight aspect of Mihawk, right? Like yes, he's raising baboons on his island, similar to how the world government sees the rest of the world as animals and insects, but he doesn't treat them like lower beings because the baboons like farming, and he's the one who like taught them how to farm. He's like living with the baboons in like peace and tranquility, and like eating with them and respects them. And so like I don't know how far that goes, but I am interested to know like that SBS basically told me like Oda is gonna go deep. Like we never really know how deep he's gonna go in Mihawk's story. But now it's like, damn, we're gonna get some good stuff.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, dude. Like Mihawk is one of the first characters we've met in the story. You know, like Mihawk, Shanks, Luffy's. I feel like for the OG cast of One Piece, they were always built up to have these insane stories. So Mihawk is like no exception. He's definitely gonna be on that list. And I am banking on the Holy Knight connection. And hey, like we talked about Jupiter being a farmer, a Holy Knight farmer, or not farmer, cook.
Chef. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Mihawk's related to that since he loves to cook.
Hey, he could be. I mean, Draco cool. Mihawk, you know, maybe there's some like
Cook Mihawk.
Yeah, something
there we go.
In there. Something in there. Yeah.
I also love how Oda said that Mihawk just doesn't want to live anymore. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, is that what because that was the other thing? Like we got the rough translations from various people, but then I also got a bunch of people messaging saying like, "Oh, this translation isn't correct." That was like,
it could be slightly off. It says, "In a sense of solitude, he's just like Crocodile who doesn't trust people, and there's even a part of him that's getting tired with life." So it's like, yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. He's just kind of chilling, you know. He's not really doing anything.
I mean
he doesn't have that fire under him. Until Buggy showed up, and then now Buggy's like, "Yo, Pirate King, let's do it." So maybe Buggy's gonna make Mihawk not tired anymore.
That's actually an interesting thing because I see it now, but like I kind of glazed over that a little bit. But that actually you could have implied that because of Perona. Imagine a world where Perona gets that island and she uses her ghost kind of on everybody, and like I would imagine, with Haki, you won't be you can't prevent it, or you can prevent like devil fruit abilities via Haki, and Mihawk is definitely on a character on the tier of it doesn't matter what Haki he has. Like you give him observation Haki only, and somehow he'd still be so cracked at it that he could resist it. Sure, whatever headcanon people have on it. But imagine a world where he's just like he didn't do anything. He had no defenses up, and Perona sent a ghost to him, and it didn't affect him. Just kind of like Usopp, and Perona's like. And he's the world's strongest swordsman, and he's like that depressed, and this SBS kind of like cements that a little bit. He's tired with life, where Mihawk's just like, man, I'm the world's strongest swordsman, but what does that really mean? You know what I mean? Like it could easily be that's the thing. It's like my baboon is stronger than every other swordsman that I fought. There hasn't been a single swordsman that could beat the 100 baboons, the 100 recipe baboons thing. Like the Ivankov flips, but like, oh my god,
it's a sad life being at the top.
Yeah, it is lonely. You know, I don't know who said it, but they like in our world this that there's always someone better than you, but like Mihawk is kind of that character who is probably not hasn't really, Shank. Oh yeah, he probably got depressed after Shanks. That's probably
Yeah,
why he got tired
he
after
doesn't have
life.
a rival anymore, dude. Shanks, he lost an arm.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that that's like, yeah, he got betrayed and he lost trust in people, but the tired with life probably started once Shanks lost his arm. He's probably like, what's the point?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, who's gonna challenge Mihawk now? Like
Yeah.
he has to deal with like the Zoros of the from East Blue of the world.
So so then technically, this would kind of be the worst timeline for Mihawk. I don't know how much more beautiful you could get, but if he got betrayed by the Navy and he became tired with life and depressed in the current timeline, and it got to a point where he decided to work under the Navy just so that he could skate by in life, that kind of implies that he's not in his best timeline. He could be in an okay timeline, sure, but like as far as the way Oda draws good timeline, bad timeline, technically the Mihawk that we would see is in a maybe not the worst timeline, but a bad timeline, and that's crazy because then that Mihawk, imagine Mihawk being like 8 feet tall, like not 8 feet, like 10 feet tall, like Garp, and like huge and like larger than life, and like that would be the good timeline Mihawk, where he's like he looks like
He just gains a lot of height. It just
yeah.
gets taller.
Well, that is what like a lot of characters that have achieved, their thing, their
Yeah.
like the status, they get portrayed like that, like Akainu is huge, like all the admirals are huge, and then Garp massive, Kaido massive, Kong massive, Sengoku massive, like, and I'm naming a lot of admirals, but or a lot of navy men, but that's because in the navy there's a hierarchy that allows you to visibly see your mark on the world, right? And so like it as far as like um structures go, that's why Garp was like, yo, you Ace, Luffy, join the Navy, because like that is technically the good life. Like the
Yeah.
Navy side is the good life, it's the structured life, it's the life that has a regiment behind it, and clear, things that mark your success. Whereas like being a pirate, it's like most of the pirates are busted because most of them fail, and then there's that few, you don't always end up the Giga Chad like Whitebeard is, right? So or Roger or stuff like that. But then even look at Roger, kind of like his, not, I'm not saying because he's kind of small, but Roger didn't achieve what he wanted. Yeah, it's
Never got big, dude.
Yeah,
He never got big.
big.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
And we do know that Oda draws the characters kind of reflective about that, based off of the good timeline, bad timeline thing. But it is, as far as and it kind of relates to the Giants. The Giants are super prideful in themselves, right? They have unlimited pride, and so like maybe that's a part of being
So,
Giants.
do you think in the good timeline of the Straw Hats they just get like 10 feet taller too?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think that like the good timeline, not the like maybe not the good timeline, but like I would say that the Straw Hats are on the path. It's just like they're all really young, in most regards. Like look at Kobe. Kobe in 45 days actually went from like Luffy's knee height to the same height as Luffy in 45 days. That's canonic to the story, and that's wild because like, all right, let's give him 15 years. Let's give him 15 years when Luffy would be 35, and he's still younger than current Shanks at 35. And yeah, I would imagine he could grow to be super big. Why not? Like, you know what I mean? If Kobe can grow like 5 feet in 45 days, sure, let's give it to him. I mean, it's not 5 feet; it's like 4 feet, 3 feet.
Would you want to be super big like that?
In the One Piece world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
In
think
the
so?
One Piece world, yeah. It's just, I don't know.
I think that might be my dirty secret with Ivankov, to be honest, dude.
What do you mean?
Like if I ever like achieve my dreams in the world of One Piece and I get like 50 feet tall,
You
I'd
wanna
probably be
be a
visiting Ivankov and I'd be like, hey, can you reduce the limb size a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Ivankov through the hormone fruit can make someone smaller?
I hope so, man. If not, then I'm gonna have to go to that one guy, Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill has like the shrink fruit.
Huh? Wait, why am I not remembering this?
His name might not be Bill. Let me look it up. Not be
You're
you.
talking about Lily.
Am I talking about Lily? Yeah, I am talking about Lily. Yeah, Lily.
She's a giant that could shrink.
The mini fruit.
Yeah.
Bill, Bu, Lily. It's all like the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, I probably have to go to Lily.
Interestingly, interesting thing about Lily is that Lily's father was, I would say, in the running to be a Yonkook. That was her backstory.
Yeah, the guy with the pants.
Yeah, her name was Lily and Stomach. Stomigo. That was her name. Yeah. So she was a giant who become mini, and her weapon was a fork. That was kind of cool, but
yeah.
I don't remember.
And then her dad was Pan's Fry.
Yeah,
and his weapon was a giant pan.
Yeah. See remember? Okay, see, I'm even more on board that the Holy Knights, a Yonkook is a Holy Knight. Because remember we were talking about like it might not be that all the Holy Knights have like swords or like traditional weapons. Like they can have random things. And like a frying pan Holy Knight is that'd
be so good.
Yeah.
But then again, like I'm afraid that they would look down on him though. Like how Sanji's family looked down on him for like being a cook and feeding mice. Like what if it's the same thing for the Holy Knight though? Like that's why I feel like if he's going to be a chef, it's gonna have to be like a secret. Maybe like Sanji's gonna fight somebody, and then Sanji's gonna be like, "Oh, I noticed the way you're fighting. You don't use your hands. Like, is there a chance that you're a chef?" And the guy's like, "Shh, don't tell the boys."
Well, it could be a little bit different where it's like, because I think a lot of Judge's character arc is finding out that his foundation for being a proper conqueror was incorrect, right? For example, removing emotions is probably the most crippling thing for a Luffy or most conquerors. Like they need to access their emotions in order to enact their conqueror's haki. It seems like, when Luffy, Ace, and Yamato, when they access their thing, it was from heightened emotions to the point where we don't even know if the Vinsmoke family, other than Sanji, even has haki, because they don't have emotions to even bring out that in the front. So like that foundational understanding that Judge had, he supplemented with science. So he created an exoskeleton that replaced like armament haki. We don't know if they have their own, and so it could be another thing where it's like his whole thing was that Sanji couldn't serve, like being a chef meant you served others, and it could be that Oda takes that on its head with the Holy Knight and be like, "Oh, what a foolish sentiment. He doesn't understand that."
Yeah,
like
all the Holy Knights cook.
The essence of life comes from the ground, and what better? Like, I'm not gonna let the insects handle that. That is the role of God. God gave us food, and I am the God that prepares it. Or something like that.
And then they have like they walk in and they have like knight armor, but there's like an apron that says "Kiss the Cook" on it.
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
And then like Sanji could have like a whole like another existential crisis, because like he was told his whole life that like he was lesser than, and like he's like fighting this dude who's like teaching him a whole different like ballpark of being a chef.
It would all come full circle if the Holy Knight who was a chef was also kind of like that one mouse guy from Arlong Park.
Nezumi?
Yeah. Because Sanji likes mice. So imagine the Holy Knight he fights has like the mice whiskers. They have like the Mickey Mouse ears. And they also cook. It would be Sanji's character all wrapped up in one.
No, I have one higher than that.
Oh, stop.
Oh my God, no.
Unleash it.
Whip
it out, Par.
The mythical Zoan Ratatouille, bro.
Nah!
It's a knight, and then it's just the reality. It's a mouse controlling someone.
That would be so good. Yeah, no, Sanji fights the guy, and then Sanji has great observation haki, right? One of the best in the crew. And then Sanji's like, something's off about this fighter here. like what is going on? What is this presence I feel on top of his head? Wait, Par.
What?
This explains why Judge wears a helmet. Ratatouille's underneath it. It's all coming together. The Ratatouille theory.
Oh my god, mythical. Oh my god, if Oda does a Ratatouille, and the thing is, like, it would also work as like Ratatouille's a French like story too, and Sanji has the French motif. He fights a French holy knight. The France kingdom is in the world government. It could easily be that, like,
dude, that's insane.
Like Ratatouille.
Is this the theory we die on?
Oh, no.
Is this the hill we fight on for the rest of our lives, Par? Is this it?
What would be the meaning? Like, Sanji was smuggling food in his career, feeding a mouse, to only find out that his ultimate villain is a mouse that's feeding.
Oh, imagine this too. You know how like Oda loves like, you know, pop culture and stuff?
Yeah.
Par. The Blue Man Group. Imagine the holy knight that he's fighting is also all blue. His skin is all blue. we need to draw this up.
Particularly relates to the rest of the theory, but like, as far as maybe he has like a, like, you know, what's his face? Charlos, he had like an aquarium. Imagine if the Holy Knight had like a part of the all blue like preserved. Like he had access. Like maybe he doesn't know what or where the all blue
dude, I like the blue guy theory more.
He's just blue because he's and he's controlled by a mythical Zoan Ratatouille up in this. He's a young cook. He fights with a goddamn pan. Like,
no. What if so the pan thing's already been done? What other kitchen utensil could he fight with?
A harpoon?
Maybe like a electrical oven.
An air fryer. Oh no.
Yeah. He has an air fryer. Oh, what if that's it? Like Sanji is like old school traditional cooking with oil in a skillet, and then this guy's like modern because he has Void Century tech, and he's like, Sanji, your cooking is outdated, or should I say, it's too modern. And then like he hits us with an electrical stove.
Not too modern, too traditional, and he hits.
Oh yeah, too traditional. There we go.
With he's the closest thing. No, Vegapunk's microwave was based off of him.
Oh yes. Vegapunk, when he went to Marie's Raw, he studied up on what do we call this guy? Like Bonsoir Ratatouille.
Just like the lowest hanging fruit. You're just like, yep, down here on the fucking ground.
Yeah, what do we name this guy? What do we name this creature that we're talking about?
I swear to God, it's going to be like Oda's sitting there like, these guys got it. They know. Like, yeah. Oh my God.
We're gonna have Hitman like show up at our door any minute now. Oh, no, just to assassinate us because we're spoiling Sanji's final opponent.
Yo, I'm actually thinking about the microwave thing a little bit more because the mechanism of action for a microwave is the reason why it doesn't warm anything else, like your plate or whatever, is because the microwaves are specific to water molecules, so it warms up the water. So it's like the Holy Knight had like some kind of microwave kind of thing, and that's like its correlation to food. That'd be
dude,
crazy.
You know, like Sanji has the Ifrit Janbei, and like he set his leg on fire. This guy can set his whole body on fire because he's inside of a microwave.
I don't know about inside of a microwave. I mean, we do have oven. Oh, Sanji fought oven. So like the next person being a microwave or a toaster, isn't that crazy?
Dude, this reminds me of Gordon Ramsay. He was doing like not Hell's Kitchen, the one where he goes to like failing restaurants. And he tries to save him and remodels it. There's one restaurant where the guy's like, "Hey, Gordon, have you met Chef Mike?" And then Gordon's like, "Who's Chef Mike?" And it's just a microwave.
I swear, if one of the young cooks is Mike, we need to watch this Gordon Ramsay episode on stream. Oh my god, dude. I wouldn't even put Oda doing this reference just out of like he was oh my god.
Chef Mike of the Gorosei or Chef Mike of the Holy Knights. Oh my god.
Oh,
that's so
no.
good. Dude, I think we're cooking here. These are some great ideas.
You mentioned
crying.
Pirate God Cook. I think we're reaching that level, dude. We might have surmounted the young cooks with this one.
Yeah, dude, it's so early, man. I just woke up. It's too early to be laughing this hard. I can't go back to sleep after this.
Chef Mike. Oh no, that's too good. That's comedic gold right there. Oda doing that would be so wild. Honestly, yeah. But the thing is, like, Mike having a double entendre with like microphone and Oda's doing the music stuff. I could like, and then he fought Oven, like a character named Oven. Like, if Sanji goes through and fights kitchen appliances moving forward, I wouldn't even bat it. Like microwaves, Chef Holy Knight Mike, his subordinate is Toaster, like easily.
And you know how like Oven, his ability is the heat fruit.
Yeah,
microwave exactly. Could be like a step above it. Like he could be like the aluminum foil in a microwave, and he could just like set himself on fire. It'd be so good.
Yeah, like he's heat wave. Like instead of like Oven had to touch things to like heat it up.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like convection currents or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Like, it's everything Vegapunk wanted to like heat up an island.
Yo.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, and Sanji did hear about all that. He was with Lilith when she was explaining that. So
yeah. No. It was Atlas who explained it. Or did they both explain it? Because Atlas gave us the island warming when we saw the microwave and when we saw the light gloves.
I thought Lilith explained the island warming because they were going to the Sky Island and then they were explaining like we can control the climate of everything.
No, I'm curious. I got to go back. What chapter is it? 1062?
Probably. Yeah, it's probably.
Oh, I think you're right. 1060. Is it? No. 1062.
You're probably right. 1062. Because I think the beginning of 1063 is the not the mother flame, but the flame, the undying flame.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're right. Maybe it is Lilith. Because Atlas talks about hologram gloves. They talk about dishes in less than a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it is 1063 then.
No. 1062. The first thing Atlas says, I didn't realize it because Atlas walks up to them saying this. Actually, this is a winter island, but the environment is set to a tropical mode in here. With my island aircon invention, you can specify. Sorry, it's so early. I'll throw that out again. It's early. You can specify and regulate the temperature of an area right down to the soil.
Yeah.
So if there is a Chef Mike with the microwave devil fruit, he could heat up the land. Maybe the reason why Punk Hazard is the way it is isn't because of Akainu, but it's because Chef Mike had to break up the fight. Maybe that's it. That's it.
And another Yonkook is Chef Fridge or Chill or Frost or Frieza.
Oh, that could be like a nice Dragon Ball thing too, huh? Yeah. Oda pays his homage to Dragon Ball by adding in Chef Fridge, Chef Cooler or something. I don't know. Just get someone from the Frieza family in here. That'd be sick. That'd be so sick.
Wait a moment. Because you need that for. Wait, that's actually crazy. But also, I just wanted to add in 1064, the part that I remembered was that Liv did explain the air conditioning thing. But you're right about Atlas explaining the mechanism.
So they all got it. Hey, that's even better. They all got it. By the time we meet Chef Mike, all of the Straw Hats are going to be familiar with this game.
Yeah. Dude, it would be crazy if two of the Yonkooks or Holy Knights, one was cold and one was hot. And then they both had this kind of like one could be over desserts. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then maybe Big Mom comes back in and Big Mom is like, I need to capture them.
Yeah, whoa. Sanji team up
Whoa.
with like Big Mom against the Young Cooks. That would be kind of crack because Big Mom, eh, people forget this, but Big Mom has a personal bounty on Sanji. She doesn't know it's Sanji, but she's looking for whoever made the cake that made her pass out. So like she has no idea, and they kind of just like and like I don't think Pudding has gotten the credit yet because like Big Mom left and like Pudding didn't deliver. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but I'm pretty sure she knows that like Pudding didn't make it because it wasn't. I forget what the full nuance was because the original cake. Oh man, I have to remember.
Wait, now that you say it, so a Sanji Big Mom team up sounds like a big meme.
Yeah,
Of course, because like Big Mom's still alive, then she has to join our side, then help Sanji. It's a lot of things have to fit together.
yeah,
But when you really think about it, when you think about like if we time skip like 30 years into the future, like who would the Straw Hats be with? I think Sanji would be with Pudding, and if that is the case, then he would have to get along with Big Mom.
yeah.
So it's like, like maybe this is it. Maybe like they're gonna do this. She's gonna learn that Sanji made the cake, and she's like, "Hey, sorry about before. How would you feel about really marrying Pudding though?" And it's like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Like something could be here."
Yeah, I've been low key thinking about that, but
Dastardly.
I never thought of an endpoint. And I've been sitting on the Young Cooks for a week and I never connected until Monsieur Ratatouille and Chef Frieza
And Chef Mike.
Chef
They all
Mike,
came in. This is a crazy dude. I think this might be the most like we've ever had when it comes to revelations in the series.
Yeah.
Like this is the pinnacle. I don't think any Parcast episode after this will be able to compete.
And this is break week, guys. Make sure you guys tune into all the break weeks. These are the special ones. Side doing
you can't say that. Now they're gonna be like, oh, this is a break week conversation, huh? You know what I mean? Like, like this is what Break Piece does to One Piece people.
Oh my god, you're right. Just cut it out. But also imagine like we just act like we have amnesia going forward. We just don't. People reference this like, yo, what about this thing? We're like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what if we get to the Holy Nights and we turn out that none of them eat?
Yeah,
there's no cooks there at all. The other 3 Young Cooks are dead, and they were like, oh yeah, never mind. Sorry guys, what's up? The whole thing with them not eating.
Like, on a fast type thing, and he loves the celestial dragons. I wonder if like there is like a Young Cook, because Kizaru was eating from one of the Young Cooks. Maybe Ryokugu also, like maybe one of the reasons he joined was because like one of the Young Cooks was there, and then maybe the Young Cook, I don't know, because he said he'd only eat if like a beautiful lady did. Oh, if one of the cooks was a lady.
Oh, Chef Mike is a lady.
Yeah, Chef Michelle. Like
no,
it would be Mike.
No. It would tie in Ivankov. Ivankov turned them into a guy. So Chef Michelle used to be a woman, now they're a guy. It ties in Ivankov too.
Oh shit, this is crazy. And then so the way Sanji fights this chef isn't a straight up fight, because that's what you think. It's a cook-off, and then
like a Shokugeki.
Yeah, she defers to him after Sanji wins, and so that shows that like if you want to properly fight a woman, it's not without your hands, but it's not by slapping them in the face or whatever. Like
yeah. Oh, that would be smart. If Sanji ever fights a woman, it's gonna be through cooking, and then you could say that Sanji beat her by going down her throat.
Yeah, exactly. And the best part is he wouldn't have to call for help in this instance, right?
No.
Like he wouldn't have to ask for Robin.
No call for help, no nothing.
He would just have to turn on those what if the nuance is he has to turn off his Germa genes to access the Sanji that can beat the God Knight?
Yes. It'd be like Akashi from Kuroko no Basket.
Yeah,
he had to say goodbye to his evil personality to unleash his full potential.
Honestly, it wasn't a good decision, I don't think, right? Like in the long run, I think he got weaker. Technically,
he gets weaker, but his teamwork goes up tremendously. But and then in the movie for Kuroko no Basket, he brings back the separate personality though.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. He like
he's
is
like,
able
hey,
to,
we have to combine.
it's like a code. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then people are like
Yeah,
they sense him again, and then right they sense him and like oh, but then
yeah,
he's like he like mid he has like his evil look, but then he's like the team guy still, and they're like oh okay, you know I
yeah.
think I
He's
remember.
like we're finally one again. We're one human. That's so good.
Yeah, yeah. I was without the
Oh
movie side, would you, if you were faced with that, where it's like, I have to sacrifice my individual power for the sake of the team, would you do that? Like in the long run, right? I get it for the game and the championship, but long run, you know what I mean?
for the
Like,
long run, would I get rid of my separate personality that is a lot stronger than I am? No, probably not.
yeah, yeah. I remember thinking that when I watched Kuroko, I was just like, listen, like you're still in high school, bro. Like keep it. These aren't like yeah, they're your teammates, but man, when you have a family and you're on the conglomerate, they're not staying with you. Some of these dudes are bums. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, maybe he's just gonna be a really good boss afterwards, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, if we gave him a whole character arc, fine. But like,
Man,
man, I'm
dude,
thinking like Johan level. You know, I'm
yeah,
thinking like,
Hans Schubert level, yeah, just cooking the guy.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so we really did pretty good on this Sanji theory, and you know what's crazy too?
What?
Just going back to the microwave aspects of this woman chef for a minute, I feel like this would be great because Sanji would have to like. I forgot, dude.
Got
I mean,
you.
I'm not gonna lie.
I got the mind rope. Now another, we could talk about it now a little bit. The mind rope is canon now, and now that it's showing in the
Oh yeah,
series, they're
yeah.
demonstrating it now. So there'll be
So
more
what
and
was I
more
gonna say?
times. Uh,
Okay, cool. Thank you, thank
yeah.
you. So Buggy's ship is called the Cross Guild Big Top
Oh,
Blaster. Great name, honestly.
yeah, but I
It's a
like
good
this
name.
is one of the times where I will give it to the community. We cooked harder than Oda. The last laugh is so
Oh, I
dope,
still
bro.
remember that. That's a good name. Yeah, the
Yeah.
last laugh.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I told you, and you were because you were prepared for my, typical, like, goofy name schemes for someone else, and you were like, and then you were genuinely. I feel like that was one of the first times you actually appreciated me being on the other end. You're like, you know what? This isn't a complete dumbass.
It's like a dad when like you have a kid and they're walking up to you and every day they have like a little crayon drawing and it's always really bad but you tell them it's good. But then
Yeah.
one day they draw like a
No,
freaking
don't
Picasso. And you're like, damn, all right, the last laugh. Okay, wow, that's good. It's good,
No,
son.
don't say I'm a kid fridge drawing.
No,
No.
I'm making a comparison. It's not saying 1-to-1.
I'm saying something, but I'm not really saying it.
Yeah,
You know?
come on, Par.
Big Top Blaster,
That's a good one.
famously Oda name though. I'll give it to him. Do you think like why do you think it's called the Big Top Blaster though?
I think it's because we're gonna see the return of the Muggy Ball. I think the ship is gonna have a blaster cannon like the Gao cannon from the Sunny.
Do you think okay, iconic, when I think Dragon Ball, I think the Kamehameha and like some other energy ki blast clashing and it's going and now we have the Gao cannon and the Big Top Blaster, the Thousand Sunny clashing and then there's like an
Oh,
even, do you think the ships have a face off?
oh, well, maybe they come together and they shoot at somebody else. Like like
Oh,
yeah, because Goku and Vegeta combine like the Kamehameha and the Gallic gun into like the
yeah.
final. It's not the final Flash. Sorry, that's wrong.
Final
Oh,
Flash
it
is
has a
Vegeta's
name.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Final Flash is Vegeta's. It has a name, but I
Yeah,
just
I'm
forgot.
forgetting.
But
Damn.
yeah, no, they could do that though.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy like how many innate references we made to Dragon Ball. Not even like meaningfully trying like I feel like we've always made references and now it just every time I make one it's like damn, that shit it's gone. I mean, it's not gone obviously, but now making those references a little bit sadder at least right now.
So they don't typically combine the Kamehameha and Gallic Gun. I'm thinking of a Big Bang.
Big Bang. I feel like
Big Bang Kamehameha, which they do in
one where they're
Gogeta
like,
form.
yeah. When isn't there one where they're back to back and then they
Yeah,
have their hands up?
back to back. You're thinking about the I think that's the Cooler Returns movie. That's just like a key blast, I think. Yeah. They also they have like a little moment in the Broly movie where they're both in blue and they do it too.
Yeah.
Not like the back to back, but like, you know, the attacks.
Yeah. Damn, bro.
Dang, Dragon Ball, man.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Dragon Ball fan. I still play Dragon Ball every single day of my life, actually.
Yeah. I was remembering,
I play their phone games.
We we had some good laughs about where Dragon Ball like is currently, and like, we memed on it, but like, that never meant that Dragon Ball wasn't meaningless, is
oh like, yeah
the fact that we, like, personally, right, like, I going into watching like Super, like, knowing that like, oh, the hair just changes a different color, I'm like, yo, give me every color.
So
bro.
What you're saying is that we still hate Dragon Ball Super.
No, I mean,
hate's like, too strong for that one. I'm just not a big fan of the plot points, but it's still good. Dragon Ball's still special in the heart.
Yeah, like it's the thing that I'll say. It's like, even though like I got spoilers of what is in the manga and what comes out. If they ever come to animate that stuff, I'm still watching it. Like I watch.
Oh
Super,
yeah.
knowing that like I wouldn't be like, this isn't going to be my top 10 of all time. But honestly, when I watched it and I saw like the Goku, Frieza, even the tournament of like the Universal thing, that was nostalgic. That was like, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best like writing in fiction period, but bro, that made me remember, that made me feel things. Like I like, even today, like I completely forgot, and I tweeted about it. Vegeta was one of the, if not the first like character I ever drew when I was like a kid, and I was like tracing. I had like a tracer.
Oh, that was the crayon drawing you showed me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I just did it on my phone real quick, and that was just muscle memory. I completely forgot that, and that was like a muscle memory. I was like, holy shit, that's how many times I drew this when I was like under the age of 10, and then I just forgot until now that was a thing. Like I remember I showed you like my shark drawing. The shark was like the first animal, and then Vegeta was like the first like humanoid character thing. It wasn't Goku, it was Vegeta, because like Vegeta was such an interesting shaped character with like the most insane widow peak, and I was like, I just want to draw this. And then I tried, and I was like, this is really hard, because like if you mess up the proportions, you get like this weird thing. And I remember looking back at like the series, there was times when the animation made his forehead really, really huge and distorted, and I'm like, I don't blame them anymore. I did the same thing like at least like 200 times. It's so crazy that like so much of my childhood, and like Oda has said the same thing, that the reason why he started, not the reason, but like a huge motivation point for One Piece was to fill in the gap that Toriyama left when Dragon Ball ended in like 1995, and when it came to drawing Kishimoto and Oda to this day has said that Toriyama is probably the greatest like artist, period. And I've seen now, like I didn't really, because you see the anime and you don't really see the artist drawings, just like in One Piece you see the anime, that's not Oda's drawing. I believe that Oda's coloring and his drawings are still better. It's just that he's not doing the animations for it. And that goes true for Toriyama too. You look at some of those panels way back then and they're like, holy crap, this is insane. Like a dude did this traditionally. No, like it wasn't, some of it was digital, but obviously back then we didn't really even have the internet. So it's like his version of, he had probably his maximal like technology was our MS Paint. Like that's realistically what
he didn't have too much to work with back then.
Yeah, and he did all that. Yeah, so wild.
So we're gonna have to check out because we got to go a lot earlier this time around. But we got 2 minutes left, Par. In these 2 minutes, what's your favorite Dragon Ball Z moment, and also who's your favorite Dragon Ball character in general?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Cause like I think favorite there's lots of moments that if I were to rewatch and like refresh, because I haven't touched like the original series in a long time, but like from pure memory, from pure like emotions, I think it's the Gohan Cell, like that arc, like the things like that's also my favorite. Perfect Cell's my favorite theme, but then also when Gohan got back up after Goku gave another Sensu Bean, which is like, yo,
Goku, stop, Goku, please, no.
And then he turns around.
Imagine
and
Cell gets destroyed, and then Goku's like, you know what? I'm just gonna wish Cell back with the Dragon Ball. One more time, run the gauntlet, Gohan, do it.
And then Goku comes out with I'm paraphrasing, but he was just like, I did that because I believed in you, son.
Yeah, I know Gohan can do it.
Yeah,
this Sensu Bean won't matter. It's like, it does matter, Goku, please.
Yeah, and the when Gohan did the Kamehameha, and then Goku was in like the shadows behind him. That like, I could rewatch that 100 times over. That was definitely a peak. And then as far as favorite characters go, I think at the moment, like, I think if I rewatch it again, it might shift again. But Gohan was like, I really liked Gohan. I even liked the worst off versions later on that we got of Gohan.
Oh no,
because,
please no.
No, as far as like, I liked where the characters had started, but then it kind of got old. And that's kind of the way of Dragon Ball, where most characters go the wayside of Goku, right? It's unfortunately, it's less so that Gohan was a bad character and more so that like his character was sacrificed for Goku. And that is the reality of it, that like Gohan was going to be the main character, but then they just kept Goku, and it's like an unfortunate thing. But I that's why I'm saying, like, it's kind of basic to say that Gohan would be like a favorite, but like I also liked Majin Buu, which also could be like a hot take. I liked
like the Fat Buu.
I liked the essence of Majin Buu, like the diabolical kid evil part. So that existed in most things. There was like that one version of Buu that it didn't have it, and I think that was my least favorite version of Buu, where he was kind of like smart, and I was like, it's not me. But like I liked Kid Buu. Kid Buu was kind of cool, but I did like, man, when he turned people into candy and ate them, that was kind of sick. Gohan, Piccolo, those characters definitely shine. And then Trunks easily dope. But yeah, I'd have to rewatch a lot, and like I would consider like the original movies too, because Toriyama was involved with like the movies.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like other situations where like, no, he kept the core essence of the characters through and through with all the supplementary stuff. So Goku, Gohan, Trunks, easily, that's like basic, I feel like, and Piccolo, like that's a good trifecta, I feel like. Damn. Yajirobe was kind of sick.
Yajirobe wasn't bad. He just he got tossed to the wayside really hard after, like, I guess even during Z.
Yeah, but he had some crazy feats, like
like cutting Vegeta's tail.
Yeah. He had some
that was like the only feat he
movies.
has. I mean,
he has one more, I think, but like, yeah, like he had, like, obviously he's Yajirobe, but
yeah,
so he's kind of cool.
I think all my favorites are all villains. I'm a big fan of Cooler. I loved his whole character. I love Janemba. Janemba was like the whole like evil just for the sake of being evil character. He was just like this resident of hell. So like when people go to hell, like their evil essence gets put into a jar. One day, like all the jars break and then Janemba gets spawned. So I thought that was really sick.
Yeah. Didn't he clown on Frieza for a little? Was that the thing?
No.
Frieza was sent to. I feel like when we got his thing, wasn't it like
you're thinking about Yeah. So when that happened, when Janemba was spawned, no. Like so when Janemba was spawned, all of the residents of hell went up to Earth. So Frieza was on Earth. A bunch of like evil Saiyans were on Earth as well. And then the person who memed on them was, I believe, Gohan and Gotenks. So Gotenks like destroyed Frieza and everybody else. Like it was, and there was also like Adolf Hitler there too, which was kind of silly. I don't know if you remember that. That was like a big meme in the Fusion Reborn movie. Yeah. Yeah, Gotenks beats Hitler, which is just the most random plot point, but
Yeah,
that was there.
Yeah. As far as like villains go, I would say Vegeta was I liked Vegeta, but
oh yeah,
awkwardly enough, he was another character that was kind of put on the wayside because of Goku.
I hate it. Even now in the manga, Vegeta, he just can't finish a fight. Why do they keep on doing him like this? It's been so long. Give Vegeta a W. My favorite moment, probably the Vegeta moment where he's like, you know, Trunks, Bulma, even Kakarot, like, you guys take care, and then he uses like his explosion and he tries to like suicide and kill Majin Buu with him, and then Majin Buu just gets back up. It's like, why? Just give Vegeta one win. And then we have the Resurrection F movie. Boom. Vegeta beats Frieza. But in the very last moment, Frieza just is about to destroy Earth, and then Goku has to step in. It's like, dude, Vegeta cannot catch W for his life. It's so sad. His only W is against Goku.
Yeah.
Which I guess is big.
It's big. Like, my cope is that they wanted to give him moral W's, which in that Majin Buu thing, it was Piccolo recognizing, like, I guess you're a changed person now, and then respecting what he did and being like, no, nobody else could have achieved what he just did right there. And I agree with you. I think there was a way to write it where Majin Buu was resurrected in that instance, but like that was the setup that like you can't kill Majin Buu. You have to like do some next level thing, which is because like the way Majin Buu ended up dying was kind of the same thing a little bit. It was just like a little bit more saturated power. I forget exactly, but
we kill him with the spirit bomb.
Yeah, so on. It's like my God, Vegeta had plenty of spirit in that thing. He gave up his life, bro. He gave up the spirit of the Prince of all Saiyans. Give him that W.
He even called Goku a friend, bro. Like that was a moment, man.
Yeah, and he had and all the while he was fighting the Majin symbol on his forehead, right? Like, and he was basically he had the whole we made a reference in this episode, but it was kind of like he's so evil that evil was like nothing to him, and he was like memeing the whole time. The
monster inside of him was growing.
Yeah, like, and he like so like maybe for, I forget what the exact quote, but like maybe for a moment it was like a problem for him, but like very quickly his evilness trumped it, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. And that was like probably the heaviest part, was that like that was supposedly his like evil was running through his blood. And he did the most like selfless act right in that thing, in the evilness there. Recognized Goku was his friend. Piccolo saw, was like, yo, I don't know what just happened with him. He went through like 19 different character arcs in this moment.
He knocked out Trunks so that Trunks could leave. That's oh God, come on.
Yeah, that's a good moment. Like to a son, right? That's a son that wasn't even his. Like that, it was like an unbelievable, like, right? That's not his kid in that moment. What was it? Was that
no? It was his kid.
Oh, right. That's not Cell. Cell was the future Trunks for a moment, right?
Yeah, this is like his kid. He knocks out Trunks, and he also knocks out Goten because Goten was there.
Right. Yeah. He hits them.
I need to rewatch Dragon Ball. Might do a little rewatch-a-thon, but
yeah.
It's just Z is great.
Vegeta, you know, again, he's the character that,
like, imagine Zoro. Imagine if Zoro never won a fight, and if at the end of all of Zoro's fights in One Piece, Luffy has to step in. Imagine Zoro versus King, right? Like this, if Zoro was Vegeta, Zoro would fight King, we would get to the final attack, and then Zoro gets wiped out. You know, Imperial Flame Dragon almost kills Zoro, and then Luffy shows up, slaps King, and then it's game over. Like, that is what's happening to Vegeta every single arc. It's even happening currently in Super. It's still happening.
It's actually worse than that, because I would say the accurate one would be if Zoro fought Mihawk and Luffy.
Oh yeah, Luffy beats
Zoro.
Mihawk.
Got clapped, and then Zoro beat that because, or Luffy beats thing because
Mihawk,
Frieza was Vegeta's Prince of all Saiyans like antagonist. He wiped out his entire lineage, and that's the guy he wanted to beat, and he became his underling right, for a time being because he had no choice, kind of like Zoro and Mihawk. And so then comes Kakarot, the guy who is in playing on Earth like a little monkey boy, and he just comes out of nowhere and just beats Frieza and reaches Super Saiyan level. That's like if Luffy becomes the world's strongest swordsman also after me.
No, and the worst part is Resurrection F. Vegeta could finally get his rematch against Frieza, and then guess what? Goku still comes in at the very end and beats him. Why? Let him have it. Let him have it, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what was like you know how like Oda based like Shanks off of himself and like, you know, the various characters off, like Whitebeard was this guy that he really admired at a bar when he was younger or whatever. Like, I want to know, I don't know if this is out there, if Toriyama based Vegeta off of someone he knew, because my God, that guy must have had the most tragic life ever. Like, that's
yeah,
so
he just
sad.
could never get a win.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite.
I still love Vegeta more than Goku, though. Hot take. Vegeta's
yeah,
so
I mean,
cool
that's
to me.
fair. Goku is like Superman, you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to like continue to like a guy who just has like you know, everything, so to say. I mean, it's weird because Goku died to like a heart condition or like a blood virus or something like that, and then but like he's also God at the same time. Sure, all that, and then every single time, yeah, I think Toriyama said it, it's not about the desire to get stronger, it's about the need. And like Goku needs a lot of things, and then you know, apparently he added the retcon of what's his face, Bardock wishing, I wish that Goku like what faces no, like never dies.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. In Dragon Ball Super, Bardock wishes with the Dragon Balls that Goku lives a fulfilling life. So it's not super plotty in that regard, but it is kind of plotty because he doesn't exactly say, I don't want my son to die. He's just like, no, I wish my son has a great life.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and that, you know, as if that's the case, yeah, I'm on Team Vegeta. It's fine, even if he doesn't have.
And also Bardock, power scaling wise, Bardock is insane. One minute he's losing to like first form Frieza, the next minute Bardock goes back in time, goes Super Saiyan 2, beats Frieza's ancestor, which I don't know why that's a thing. And then in Super Bardock, we get a flashback where Bardock's beating someone who I would argue is like God level. It's like, okay. So or not God level, but you know, at the time he was really powerful. It's like how dude, Bardock's crazy. I don't know.
I forget, but was Bardock on Whis' radar or something like that, or like
no?
Beerus? No, okay, because like
no.
I feel like what was the planet that he was on? Wasn't that planet somewhat important or something like that? That's the planet that taught. I forget. No, that planet.
No,
the planet
I have no
where,
clue, dude.
Goku learned instant teleportation.
Oh, you're talking about the Yard Rats. No. Vegeta went there.
Vegeta went there.
Yeah, Vegeta goes there in Super.
Yeah. Damn. Well, if there's anything that came, you know, out of Akira Toriyama, it's a lot of good times that I'm.
Yeah, a lot of good times, a lot of fun moments.
Reliving a lot. And I haven't been reading the manga, but I always planned on consuming more Dragon Ball. And if they never animate it, I for sure will be.
Yeah, consume those balls, man.
Yeah, consume those balls. Damn, I do like what Oda said though. Hope heaven is as as you envisioned it to be, Toriyama, because
that's a good line.
Yeah, because as far as like otherworldly or afterlife thing, Dragon Ball is one of the ones, like when you say it as memes as it sounds, I do think about the Dragon Road. I think about Yama sitting there. I think about King Kai. I think about all the dudes there. I do think about that a lot, like the golden clouds. That does come up to my mind. So Akira Toriyama does did create an image for that world.
I think the Hell in Dragon Ball is so cool.
Yeah, and it was like multiple hells too, which like reflects, you know, the versions too. Man. It's good stuff. Yeah.
But hey, thank you, Par, for joining us on this break week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation about whatever the hell we talked about here. Thank you so much. What's up?
We need to like our epithets are young cooks now. I think after
Yeah, young cooks.
to back streams, we're cooking so like I think one of our theories got debunked the next chapter, but like we cooked still. We cooked so hard.
Even if we're wrong, it's still a fun time.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you, Par, again for joining us. You have a good rest of your day, and you guys and you guys watch. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to bed after this. You guys have a great day as well. Peace out.
Peace out.